Hi, it's Mr. Nick. Well, I'm here pruning my apricot tree, and today we're going to write a poem about trees, all about trees. So let's go inside. And today we're going to write all about trees. I bet a lot of you have a favorite tree. What are some of them? Ponderosa pine, aspen tree, apple tree, willow tree? My favorite tree growing up was this big live oak tree at my grandparents' house in California. Whenever I was over there, I'd go up into the big broad nook in its branches and sit there for a long time. I'd imagine all sorts of things in that tree and really feel safe and hidden too. So first I want you to think about a tree you know. Could be a tree in your backyard, could be a tree on your block or park or in a forest, could be a tree in a different state that you saw once and really liked. Could be a tree you climb or sit in the shade of, or watch squirrels scurry around in, or smell, or even taste. Close your eyes now and try to imagine this tree. Start at the bottom of the tree. Can you see any roots? How thick are they? Is the trunk wide or narrow, smooth or rough? Look up. How high does the tree go? Does it have branches? Does it have leaves or needles? What shape are the leaves? Have you all gotten the feeling that when you get close to trees, they really feel alive? Even though they don't move or talk or laugh like us. They don't grow like us. They don't make the same noises we do. They don't express their happiness with a smile. But do you think they're happy or sad? We really don't know what it's like to be a tree. So as poets, we often have to compare trees to something we do know what it's like to be. A person. This is called personification. When you give something that is not a person the characteristics or emotions of a person. I'm going to start out with a poem about trees by one of my favorite poets, Mary Oliver. In this poem, I want you to notice how she gives the trees human characteristics, such as human body parts, and how she compares them to people. Black Oaks by Mary Oliver. Okay, not one can write a symphony, or a dictionary, or even a letter to an old friend full of remembrance and comfort. Not one can manage a single sound, though the blue jays carp and whistle all day in the branches, without the push of the wind. But to tell the truth, after a while, I'm pale with longing for their thick bodies ruckled with lichen. And you can't keep me from the woods, from the tonnage of their shoulders and their shining green hair. Today is a day like any others, 24 hours, a little sunshine, a little rain. Listen, says Ambition, nervously shifting her weight from one boot to another. Why don't you get going? For there I am in the mossy shadows under the trees. And to tell the truth, I don't want to let go of the risks of idleness. I don't want to sell my life for money. I don't even want to come in out of the rain. How did she describe the trees? Did you notice that she used words for trees that might describe us? Thick bodies, tonnage of their shoulders, shining green hair. She is using personification to give the tree human qualities. Poets have to imagine what it's like to be a tree. If you're a tree, what does it feel like when the wind blows through you? What about when a squirrel scurries up you, or a bear scratches up against you? This second poem by Mary Oliver about maple trees, pay attention to the emotions and the human characteristics she gives the tree. Maples by Mary Oliver. The trees have become suddenly very happy. It is the rain. It is the quick white summer rain. The trees are in motion under it. They are swinging back and forth. They are tossing the heavy blossoms of their heads. They are twisting their shoulders. Even their feet chained to the ground feel good, thin, and gleaming. Nobody can prove it, but any fool can feel it. They are full of electricity now, and the shine isn't just pennies.
It pours out from the deepest den. O pretty trees, patient, deep planted, may you have many such days, flinging your bodies in silver circles, shaking your heads over the swamps and the pastures, rimming the fields and the long roads hurrying by.
How did Mary Oliver say the trees were happy? The rain, the quick white summer rain. You can imagine how rain would make a tree happy. After all, it's one of the 4 things a tree needs: water, sun, air, especially air with carbon dioxide, and some nutritious soil. They wouldn't feel happiness in the same way we do, but sucking up all that water through the ground, through their roots, would feel good. Mary Oliver uses a few other human characteristics for trees: tossing the heavy blossoms of their heads, twisting their shoulders. She talks about their feet chained to the ground. Can you imagine what it would be like to never be able to move anywhere? To always have your feet stuck in the ground and have to go through whatever storm comes your way. Now we're going to write our tree poem. Start by picking your favorite tree and write a poem imagining you are that tree. Use the first person point of view, the I, for this poem. Remember to use personification in your poem. Describe the tree's body parts, what it feels, what it sees, hears, and touches. What does the tree feel like when it's sunny or raining? What is it like to grow from a tiny seed into a huge tree? Some trees are really old. What's it like to live for 1,000 years? What changes around you? What huge storms have you gone through as a tree? Or big dry droughts? So here's a few examples from students of a poem from a tree's point of view.
Ponderosa, tree's point of view. My stiff fingers are old and crumbled, and I don't know how long I have lived. People come by me in the state of Montana, look at my thin, long neck, and leave. I sway in the forest, smelling wind, and that's how my life goes. Time is like an endless maze for me as my rings increase and increase. Oak, from a tree's point of view. I stand tall as I try and see the world up above, but when I get chopped down, I feel like my life is over. Tears trickling to the small plants underneath. My trunk shrinks down to avoid the lightning strikes, to blend into the stiff ground. I see all that is happening every second, ending with the sunset.
So if you finish one poem from the tree's point of view, I want you to write a second poem from your point of view. What do you observe about the tree and its different body parts? Do you like to climb it, or sit in its shade, or watch the chickadees fly around in it? Here's a few examples from the person point of view, your point of view.
Ponderosa, person's point of view. It disguises itself by wiping bark over itself with stiff fingers. Spikes cover the smooth arms made of silk. It's watched lives over and over, and the rings tell it all. Humongous in size, everyone respects it like a master.
When you're finished with 1 or 2 poems, you can either send them in to your teacher on Google Docs or take a picture and send them to your teacher. If you'd like to be creative with it, you can cut out the shape of a leaf from construction paper, write your poem on there, and hang it on a tree. Send us a picture if you do that.